All right, Karthik, we are on.
Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great weekend.
Yeah, welcome everyone. This is another weekly squeeze session where we look at the weekly patterns, the upcoming week, important events, money calendar. We look at crypto, we look at the stock patterns, we look at potential trades, high probability trades. I'm always very curious to hear Karthik's plan about the market in general. I will spend probably 5 minutes on NFTs to get a little bit of teaser on everyone. I got started on NFTs a little late, but last 2 weeks I've been looking at different projects, and I think I kind of figured out the premise behind it more than anything else, and it actually excites me a lot. It kind of reminds me of the Bitcoin and Ethereum's early days when we were kind of seeing the applications of those crypto assets, and then now I can see the premise of NFTs. Still very, very early days, so exciting. So I'll spend 5 minutes on that after Karthik does the upcoming week, the market internals. We will look at money calendar, and then we'll look at squeezes. So Karthik, with that, maybe I turn it over to you.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, E.O., and welcome everybody to another episode of Weekly Squeeze with E.O. and myself. Let's take a quick look at some of the market events this week. Let me share my screen here. Okay, perfect. So these are some of the market events we're watching for the upcoming week. Obviously, everybody knows the end of the month coming up in next couple of days. There can be potential shenanigans for the month-end closing. Wednesday, watch out for the OPEC meetings, especially when it comes if you're trading oil, crude oil, or RBOB. There could be potential impact on some of the outcomes from this OPEC meetings on Wednesday. The meeting is whole day, so just be kind of conscious of what you're trading and how you're trading crude oil on Wednesday. And biggest thing for the upcoming week is the non-farm payrolls that everybody is watching after the Fed Jackson Hole meeting last week. So I think everybody is going to have been, I guess, looks like they'll be laser focused on this non-farm payroll report on Friday coming up this weekend before the markets closed, I believe, next Monday for Labor Day. So just kind of watch out how the meeting, the non-farm payroll goes, and I guess maybe a short Friday going into a long holiday weekend. So these are some of the big events that I'm personally watching. There are a couple of FOMC speakers as well. Just go back and look at the forexfactory.com for any potential FOMC speakers coming up during the week on any particular day. With that said, last week we were focused on some of the things that we discussed. Let's take a quick look at NQ, right? I mean, I'm primarily focused on NQ because this is the market which leads the other markets. The biggest components of the tech also moves the S&P and YM, so I'm keenly focused on the NQ. The big thing we all discussed last week, I mean last couple of weeks, is to buy on the pullbacks in here to the 34 EMA and kind of ride the wave, right? There's the 34 EMA lines in here. So generally, I am still leaning bullish on an intraday basis to kind of see if there's any pullback into this zone to buy in again and kind of ride the wave back up until it stops. I guess until it comes back below the 34 EMA wave, where the market will turn to a sideways or distribution chop for me. But as of now, all my signals are indicating pretty bullish, and looks like the squeeze has fired to the long side on
really
the.
bullish. Yeah, it looks really bullish still.
Yep.
We may hit some crazy tops before a major pullback, but I might be wrong about that. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of sentiment signals that I am personally watching for the upcoming week. If you look at NASDAQ, is giving me a sell signal. Let me just scroll down here to the NASDAQ kind of see a segment right here, guys. Look at the signals here. This is kind of the overbought zone, which is the sentiment signal is right now. I have a sell signal based on the sentiment for the NASDAQ. So keep an eye on this. I mean, this is the buy signal and this is the sell signal for me. Keep an eye on this kind of thing. This worked out pretty well. I think last week we discussed crude oil. Let's take a quick look at crude oil. This is where we said, let's buy crude oil because the sentiment was kind of, everybody was selling and the sentiment turned to be kind of bullish here at this zone. And we said, let's buy crude, which worked out pretty well last week. I think we discussed this on Sunday as well during the weekly squeeze meeting. So this is coming back to the neutral zone right now from a crude aspect. So just keep an eye on NASDAQ that we can get some potential sell signal there and maybe have some back and forth to play around on an intraday basis. So that's one thing. And then just look at gold, for example. Gold was a bullish signal back last week and then hit back to neutral here. So that's one market to kind of focus on, but nothing from a sentiment standpoint for actionable signal. Let's just go back one. So gold, we looked at gold, crude, NASDAQ here on a sell signal. S&P is interesting. So if you take a look at this, it's not to the oversold, not to the overbought region here. So we may have like a couple of more days of upside before we get some pullback on the sentiment side. So that's one thing I am personally watching as well. So these are the sentiment levels, but obviously end of the day, go through the chart and see the actual price action to get into trades. With that said, so I am generally bullish at this market coming into this week, focused on certain sectors. Let me just take a look at the quick sentiments on the sectors itself, and then I'll kind of come back to EO to get his thoughts on what he's looking at from a money calendar perspective. So let's just look at this is the sector sentiment. I think the couple of things here we need to be watching. I think last week we said semis were oversold. So there was some buy signals in here that kind of popped up and kind of is neutral right now. There's, I guess the materials is again, that's neutral. Financial is pretty interesting with the FOMC action. That's neutral, but there are a lot of buybacks that happening in the financial sector. So keep an eye on this. This can probably move up based on the some of the buybacks that's in this financial sectors. Other than that, I mean, there's one thing, I think we talked about consumer discretionary, which is mostly Amazon and Tesla, that I think this did not really come back to my zone that I was looking at to the oversold kind of region where I can kind of pull the trigger to the long side. But regardless, it's starting to move, show some upside potential in here for consumer discretionary. But other than that, I think oil looks pretty interesting. The crude kind of is jumping off the oversold area here. Same thing with XOP. We talked about semiconductors. XLK, which is the technology, the Apple and Microsoft is pretty neutral, so it's neither the buy zone or the sell zone. So kind of be focused on relative outperformance in these sectors. With that said, I think there's nothing much that gives me excitement to trade in any of these sectors because it's neither in the oversold area in my sell zone or in my bullish territory for buy signals, which is the green lines. So with that said, I'll kind of circle back to EO to see what he's thinking from the market's perspective, especially when it comes to money calendar, and see how he's playing the market next week. EO, back to you, my friend.
So a couple of things. Like if you look at NDX, and we'll do NDX, SPX, or SPY. Like I think pretty much in line with what Karthik is saying. I think we have 1 or 2 more days before we get a signal. So perhaps 2 more days. This momentum wave needs to complete. We have VWAP coming to the 0 line. The money flow is still green. And then it's kind of pointing to the upside. So we may get, come Wednesday or Thursday, we might get some pullback. But overall, it looks bullish, as you can see on NDX on the daily chart. Let me see weekly. Yeah, weekly indicates a possible pullback with VWAP kind of coming to the 0 line. So it's kind of balanced. So we may consolidate here on the weekly perspective. Let me see, 3-day or 2-day indicates something else. Yeah, 3 days indicates a buy. So, okay, this may be still a bullish week for NDX, at least 2 or 3 days. That's a buy signal for 3 days. Another 3 days may be okay. Let me see the 2 days. Yeah, 2 day confirms that as well. Let me see 4 hours. 4 hours is bullish as well. So, I mean, like I said, I think we may get a top-off action this week on NDX. See SPY. SPY. Oh, this was my prediction, as you guys can see. We're kind of in line with my prediction. Actually, did I share with you guys? I posted this. Look at this. So this is what I predicted before it happened, right? So I'm gonna hit play, Karthik.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean, this pattern almost repeating the pattern over here somewhere. I forgot which one I picked, but it's going exactly. So as you can see, this is I think, is this 4 hour or daily? This is daily. So we have probably 1 or 2 more days up, and then you get this pullback.
Okay.
So we should be prepared for that if the history repeats itself. But it's still directionally long. So let me go back to the chart I was using. This one. Okay, this one. So let's do SPY. We have that's a 5-minute blood diamond, so I wouldn't take them too seriously, but they'll go back. Yeah, so we did that. I was gonna do, what was I gonna do? Let's do QQQ. I think that's similar to NDX, but yeah, a little bit of pullback is possible. Yeah, it's still the same. Oh, so IWM. So there was a lot of sweeper action on IWM, right?
Yeah.
So somebody is buying lots of puts. It would be good to get your views as well, but I'm going to look at it on Market Cipher first.
Okay.
The market cipher daily, this blue triangle is an early warning for potential reversal. But the market cipher B and the trigger rate buy signal here, so it contradicts that. So I think it may be something like this. You get like a pullback here, but you continue to the upside. So let me see today. Yeah, today looks bullish with the divergence on the squeeze. 3-day. Yeah, 3-day looks bullish with a buy signal. So, but you know how I use Fibonacci's, right? Like this is, this could pull back all the way to here, the middle of this candle, and it would still be bullish. And the squeeze is indicating bullish direction here. So I don't know, maybe the put buyers know something. So this looks, with view up crossing zero line, it still looks strong. So here's my view. I think for the market internals, I expect consolidation and still perhaps a, some bullish a few days, and then perhaps consolidation until mid-September. And then after mid-September, you may get a serious pullback. So I think until mid-September, we're going to have perhaps a kind of like a slower but uptrend continuing, and then we should be prepared for a potential pullback, like we had in the past. With that, should we look at money calendar?
Yeah, let's do it.
Actually, do you want to talk about IWM while I prepare that?
Yeah, of course. Let me share my screen in here. This is my simple chart on IWM, guys. I'm sure we'll see some put actions in this name, but I think I am leaning IWM to the bullish side until it reaches the zone here around 2350, which is kind of this zone, the higher part of the zone. I think it still has potential to kind of go up before. I'm not seeing any sell signals in here. This is a daily chart of my Russell futures that I look at. So if there is any pullback to this tree line that I'm focused on 2240, I generally want to take some bullish positions into the 2350. I think this is a key zone, considering if you just draw a line in here, right, which is kind of going through all these all these midpoints of this price action. It looks like this is taken out with some. This bar on Friday has convincingly taken out this zone in here. I'm thinking we at least get to that initially to the 2315 level, which is my ATR, which is 2.5 ATR. I think I want to see at least to 2362, which is the voodoo skyline that I'm kind of looking at. So anywhere the top of this zone to around 2350 to 2360 is my target on the Russell. I guess you can equate that to IWM and play that accordingly. So that's kind of my takeaway on the IWM year. Back to you.
Let me share the money calendar. Let's see. All right, so this is the August calendar, and as you can see, this week we have Monday, Tuesday, green. Then we kind of have a kind of yellowish, pullback day, and then it's a mostly green week. Let me just look at September as a whole as well. September, as you can see, after mid-September, we get into some red days. So I expect this is kind of in line with what I was talking about. Perhaps maybe okay till mid-September and directionally, and then we may get some, serious pullbacks. So Now let me see if October is here as well. Just look October, and after after all that, and then you actually start a new cycle. That's pretty bullish after October until end of year, right, Karthik? That's been my experience.
Yeah.
So in September, let's look at. Let's go back to August and look at tomorrow. So money calendar tomorrow. Nothing exciting, but we have 90%. So as you guys know, money calendar looks at last 10 years of stock patterns, and then we highlight 9 and 10 years in a row what was profitable. So for example, Nike, 9 out of 10 years. If you bought Nike on a Monday, not on a Monday, but tomorrow, which is a Monday, but and I sold it on September 27th, on average, you made max profit $18. On average $4 move. There's only 1 year that it didn't work. So that's the 9 out of 10 years it was profitable. These were not. Monday wasn't exciting to me. I will show you Tuesday as well. I posted these to the website, but what was interesting to me was, I think, starting, like you can see, starting Tuesday, again, Amazon on the list. So I've been in an Amazon trade, I think, last week. I can't remember when we talked about it, or maybe Friday before last week. So I'm still on that Amazon trade, and it's going amazing. I've been selling calls against it to kind of compensate for the volatility a little bit. So, and then basically, so I think I would still I'm looking for any pullbacks. I might add to Amazon because I like the Amazon chart for the long term. So Tuesday looks good. Let's look at Wednesday, and then we have some questions, and we'll respond to those. Let's see. Let me just go back and look at Wednesday. I don't know, Karthik, stop me if you see a stock there, like interesting on the money calendar. Like if you want to look at it, that's fine too. I don't see, like these are not powerful bullish scenarios, right? The Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this, LD. 9 out of 10 years. If you, let me see, was this, let me just double check. But the power meter, oh, this is negative. This is bearish. 9 out of 10 years, JLD was, but it's not a big powerful move. So I wouldn't do a trade on this. But if you were bearish and sold September 1st and exited on October 4th, you would be profitable on a bearish trade on GLD. But I wouldn't do it because of the power meter is not that strong. So I think money calendar works better for the bullish trades than bearish. All right, one more day. Let's go to Thursday and Friday, and then
I don't see much of like 100% accuracy on the.
Yeah, this is not a good week for a lot of initiating a lot of long positions or short positions. To be honest, I don't see it from a money calendar perspective.
Yeah.
AMT. Let me see if Friday is any different because that'll be the end of the week. This may have some good starting trades. I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe not. I don't see any 100% except this. This is JetBlue. No. Yeah, looks good. So airlines, maybe. Is this love is JetBlue, or I can't remember.
Southwest, I think.
Oh, Southwest Airline.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean, this is 100% rate. September 3rd, you enter, you buy and sell September 16. you get a very consistently winning trade with increasingly higher profits. I like charts like this on a 10-year history, where you have a consistent growth in the profits during these days. So let's save this. Do you want to take a look at the chart of love for a second while I save this for the team?
Yeah. Sure, happy to. Let's just share my screen in here. All right, guys, on LUV, I think the biggest resistance that I see is this fire line around 52. I guess if that breaks, we could kind of see at least like 54, 55 area. 55 is the snow line. I'm sorry, this is the voodoo skyline, so potential target in there. So I think this could be a big resistance zone. It's touched a couple of times in here. I guess like the price action's been around like 4 or 5 days here. It's tried to pierce in here too, and then once more. Maybe this is the time it can pop up. I'm not sure how the squeeze is looking. Let me just take a look at the squeeze in here. See how that's plays out. My charts can load up here. All right, there's too many squiggles in here. Yeah, I mean, it looks interesting actually. We do have the ready aim fire signal fired, which is right somewhere in here. And then you have the squeeze turn, the momentum is shifting, and the waves are double yellow. So, I mean, you could see some momentum to the upside, actually. If it takes out that 52 area, I think the 50-day moving average is in here too. So I think we may have in a trade here, but I think there's maybe a lot of resistance here to the 53 buck area, which is my 200 exponential moving average. So that could place some resistance, but we may have a day trade or a couple of days in here for potential upside if there's some price action in the sector.
Yep. That was helpful. Let's, so Hamid says hi, and then he asked for us to take a look at these stocks. Do you want to start with Square, and I look at Square as well? Just the reason I picked out of the three is Bitcoin is moving again, and Square positively benefits from Bitcoin movement. So Hamid might have a really good setup.
Yeah, I mean, the chart looks bullish. I mean, I don't have a trend in here. Generally, I would like to see double green for me to initiate any long positions to the upside. But since it's a sideways market, the way I look at the market is there could be some support zone in here around 255 area. Maybe pull back to this 255, which is also my 50 SMA could come in as a support. So 250 to 255 could be my buy zone. I mean, if you kind of get to that level, we may take it up all the way up to 290 is what I'm thinking I mean, that's not my initial target. My initial target will be somewhere around 276, the value area high for the month. And then target number 2 could be back to the highs at 290. So that's the way I look at Square. And I think the squeeze in here may potentially take this to the upside. I think the momentum has to shift back to the long bullish momentum has to shift. Right now, it's kind of bearish momentum. So look for potential turns after it pulls back into the zone, and then we may get a buy signal to kind of get back into Square.
Okay, let me do Square as well, because I see interesting stuff. I think pretty much in line with what you said.
Okay.
And also, Lemmings 101 asked about Market Cipher. I covered Market Cipher in detail, but I will just, while I'm showing Square, I'll explain a little bit. just do a quick teaser on Market Cipher. So when I look at Square on the weekly, we have a red diamond here. As you guys see, red diamond, like after red diamond on weekly chart, you see you get 1 to 4 candle pullbacks. So Square could have like 1 to 4 candle kind of consolidation and pullback while the squeeze, kind of gets ready. So I wouldn't be surprised. Just be careful. If you're in a long position, when you have a red dot here on the momentum wave, VWAP is this yellow is the VWAP crossing the zero line, or at least at the bottom of the zero line. You don't want to initiate new long positions, but be prepared to have consolidation and kind of a little bit of stall here. So this is weekly, right? So that means you're looking at 1 to 4 weeks of perhaps consolidation. Now the only exception that is if Bitcoin decides to rally this week, I think all of the companies with Bitcoin in their balance sheets or doing anything related to Bitcoin will probably benefit from the momentum, right? So these blue waves are the momentum waves. The green is the money flow. As you can see, Square has been getting lots of money, and this is very thick and nice. So on the weekly chart, so I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon. So we may have these waves here. So it'll pull back a little bit. It still consolidates at the top, right? And then you have a very nice squeeze on the weekly. On the daily, again, daily confirms the consolidation, smaller waves, and then histogram, like Karthik said. So let me see, the 4 hour, we can at least see if there's an up move. Yeah, 4 hour indicates, so you may have a day or two, an up move in Square. Possibly a small wave coming in here. So we may have a day or two, a nice, couple of points of move, maybe taking out this this level. If it takes out this level, actually, you may continue to bullish to the 2 ATR. Lemings, I do for PayPal, Square, to some extent Tesla. When Bitcoin starts or kind of makes some big rallies, I do correlate their stock price a little bit on the bullish side if it goes up. If it goes down, equally, the stocks might go down, but not that much. But if Bitcoin goes up, it's definitely positive influence on these, at least momentarily. So I'm going to ask 2 other stocks. Let's take a look at those as well. SE. I'm not sure. Is this the right stock?
Yeah, that's the right stock.
Okay. We have a green dot, really bullish chart on daily. Let me see weekly. Yeah, weekly as well. We have a narrow low compression squeeze here. So we went from mid compression to low. I consider that squeeze fired. So in my view, you're going to get some continuation here and then consolidation. So I would, this is a really bullish chart on weekly. So you have at least another week or two, kind of this bullish trend continuing.
I agree with you, E.O. I mean, there's tons of option call activity in this name. This stock never pulls back. Whenever it pulls back, you just jump on it. And you see, going back last year, it's straight to the moon. Whenever it pulls back, they don't allow this stock to come in. I think it's a Singapore-based company, I think, if I remember right.
It's so bullish.
It's they don't allow this any pullbacks. The option buyers jump right into with those calls activity, and then it's kind of pops back right back up. So
Why are we not trading this? Is Hamid the only one trading this? This is awesome. I never noticed this before. But it is. I mean, it's amazingly like any pullback is a buy.
No, it's on my watch list that I watch. I mean, I see tons of call volumes. Yeah, it's a Singapore-based consumer internet company. Don't know what other stuff that they do, but it's pretty interesting. It's a good. I think it's a neat company to trade when there's option flows. When it pulls back into certain kind of buying zones, you just have to close your eyes and jump in with those call buyers. That's
Yeah, I mean, this thing though, like this thing could pull to 310, and it would be a nice buy, but that's still a big drop from where it is.
Yeah, right.
Like 310 would be a bit like really good buy zone. 310 to 307. But you know, we'll see. It looks like it's going to continue up. Do you want to take a look at ALGN?
LGN, yeah, sure. ALGN. Let me add my screen to the stream in here.
We should definitely add SE to our watch list.
Sure.
I want to make money with on SE with Hamid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good idea to keep that on our watch list.
Yeah, we'll set up an alert for 310. If it comes below 310, it's a buy.
Yeah, I have an alert set up. Let's look at Align Technology right here. The chart looks pretty bullish in terms of the wave structure and the trend and the sentiment. I think the one thing keep an eye on is the inside day on Friday. For me, when it's inside day, just look for, if it takes out the high, get long for a potential day trade. And if it takes out the low, you want to kind of take it to the short side for a day trade. But generally, the market looks bullish in here, but there could be potential area where it could come back. You look at this bar in here, the huge impulse bar. I think we probably come back in here in this zone somewhere in here, maybe a good buy zone around 650 to 670 area. Don't ask me if we get there or not, but that could be a potential fill area. The structure, in terms of the structure of this impulse bar, there could be kind of, they come back and repair the structure in here. But I think anywhere from 650 to 670 could be a good long-term or an intermediate term buy. But for tomorrow, if you want to be trading, just look for long about, let's say the price is 709.15, anything about 709, and then below 696 would be a short for me if you're trading on just for a scalping on a day trade basis. That's my take on Align Technology.
Let's take a look at some of the FANG stocks and maybe and then Tesla. So I have positions on Tesla and Amazon, so I want to look at those. Actually, while we're on you, do you want to take a look at Tesla, and I will also share my views?
Yeah. Let's pull the Teslas here. Again, this is an inside bar on Tesla on Friday, so could be interesting to the long side. I missed some of EO's trade last week, but I may get back in the upcoming week. Looks like this zone in here, the Voodoo fire line, is kind of acting as a good support zone. If the market is bullish, I think this should probably kind of go back to the 745 area, which is the Voodoo skyline, which is another big resistance zone that I look at. But I think Tesla 710 to 745, 750 could be kind of pretty bullish. And that's also my ATR, which could be kind of a resistance zone as well. So this looks pretty good, actually, to the long side from my books.
Yeah, I agree. Let me just. So I've been watching this weekly kind of channel. It's not really. It's like a triangle, and then the kind of like the trend it's following. So Tesla made me get in and get out a few times, like when we were at the bottom, when it looked like we were going to break down, and then we didn't. So I get out, but get back in. So I am, at the end, I ended up very profitable and still in it. So weekly, the histogram looks really nice. I want to see, bigger than 20 ADX here. Momentum waves are getting smaller and smaller, so you get really good weekly squeeze setting up with the right histogram so far. Daily looks really good because we actually broke out of the triangle on the daily, and we had a close above the triangle, so that's really bullish. So that kind of really confirms a target that's like way up here. Especially this is a daily chart with a big triangle, so in a couple of months time frame you could be looking at a $900 Tesla. Now when you see triangles like this, it closed above the triangle, so it's a trigger, but it needs to come back down and then bounce off again. That's the entry for long. If it comes back and breaks down, then you may actually equally get a target that's way low down here. But right now, the fact that it's above the triangle and the close is above the triangle, it's really bullish with the daily squeeze setting up. And then let me see. The 4 hour looks really good as well, guys. 4 hours also above the triangle. The squeeze histogram leading very nicely. Tesla, I think, what did I do on Tesla, actually? Let me just take a look. You guys have my trades, right? At least some of you do. How do I see my... On Tesla, yeah, Tesla. All right, let me share this. Can you see my screen? Is that readable or no?
Let me see.
I need to share it as a window.
Yeah, if I expand my screen to the full screen, yeah, I can read it.
Let me do it as a window. Maybe it's better. So I have basically a 725 to 760 call vertical. So I have to be careful with these because it's expiring next week. So that vertical, basically expecting Monday, Tuesday move. If it's not in my direction, I might be out, but that's the vertical I have. And then I have this butterfly, which is right now it's down, but it's all 727.50. I'm playing a little bit with house money because I made a lot of money on Tesla this year. And then Amazon, I made tons of money last week. But I have the 3,200 calls still. I bought these at 114. It's at 195 right now.
Nice. Congratulations. Nice trade there.
And then I funded this 3,200, part of the 3,200 call with the puts I sold. That's the 3,100, 3,050. This was from a couple of weeks ago. That's also, I sold it at $14. It's $5.72.
Nice.
So, those are good. So can you take a look at Amazon, and then I'll look at Amazon?
Yeah, let's look at quickly the Amazon chart here. It looks pretty interesting. I mean, I think you guys got in at the right time. I traded it a couple of times with you, EO, the week before last, if I remember right. It looks like this ready aim fire signal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days back around 3,200. It looks like a pretty strong signal. And the ATR that I look at, it kind of below that and then popped right back in. Looks bullish. I think I'm watching this level right here right now around 3375, 3400 level to see if they take out that level, may get a gap fill potential. If I'm not sure if there are any events that we need to watch for the upcoming weeks, but I think could be some resistance in here. But I think once it takes out this, may have to, for this gap fill to occur from 3,400 to 3,600. So good $200 potential in here. Actually, if it breaks this level, we should, I think, trade this to the bullish side as you're rightly doing it. With those trades, I think you have like what 45 days on those calls.
Yeah, I have October calls, but maybe September. I can't remember now.
I think. I think it's 47 days out. I think so. That's a pretty good to hold those calls into those.
Yeah. I think I was following both money calendar. And then it corresponded with the market cipher buy signals, right? So, so if I can take this back, let me see.
Would you buy this on any pullback? And what's the pullback zone that you're looking at? Would be helpful for me.
Yeah, definitely. Amazon looks so bullish. Where's my okay? So if you look at this, I think I got into this thing right here at this buy signal, which market cipher did double bottom, and then we had a green dot buy, and then this was curving up, and the VWAP was above zero line, and the momentum wave was leading to the upside. So I got in somewhere around here. I can't remember now. And then I think and I think I sold some calls against it this past week, some credits against it. I didn't make much, but it just, it helps against, premium decay.
Yeah.
And you see this momentum wave on the 4 hour. So, I gotta be careful, like Monday, Tuesday, perhaps we may get, a pullback signal here on the 4 hour. But I like this curvature of this money flow. So it's even at the 4 hour, we're kind of leaning towards the green. So maybe it's going to be a small wave and then a bigger wave. But let me look at the daily and weekly. Those were really obviously bearish because we were coming out of this bearish trend, and then we kind of bounced off of this. The whole reason I would enter here is like because I was looking at the lower time frame and seeing the turn, and then I was also seeing daily confirming a buy signal with money flow turning, and then VWAP positive, and then we have the double bottom market cipher momentum waves. This was perfect setup, so I took those. I mean, if you look at the weekly didn't look very well when I entered the trade, but I was looking at the symmetry play. That's what Henry Gamble does, right? So I was looking at this looked like a symmetry where you expect a similar type of bounce from this kind of like the trend line here, and then obviously money flow or green, and then when I entered that this VWAP had already turned. So it was indicating, perhaps sometimes it's risky when VWAP is way below zero and looks like it's turning, but because it may just continue going down. but the turn was kind of confirmed by the Heikin-Ashi candles, and I kind of looked at where we would end up a buy signal, which would be the middle of the previous candle, Heikin-Ashi candle. I tell you guys all the time. So that's where I took my long positions. All right.
Thank you. That's helpful.
So, Karthik, should we do Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe a little bit of NFT?
Yeah, NFT would be interesting along with the Bitcoin and ETF. Yeah, let's do that.
Right. So, BTC. Let's take a look at BTC, guys. Is this 4 hour? Yeah. So Bitcoin continues to behave very healthy, and it's kind of in a bullish trend with consolidating. I like it when it does it this way. I like it when Bitcoin goes up like really fast. So it's always nice to see it go up a little bit, pull back, kind of retest the mean, and then so it's set up for a very nice, as you guys know, like this long-term chart looks really good. I think last week when we were looking at it, I was drawing this momentum wave like this. So I think we have a couple more days of upside to perhaps to 52, 53,000. And then we might roll over, unfortunately, a little bit. Again, the rollover would be more like, not like a big crash, but more another consolidation kind of thing. I like Bitcoin when it goes up like that by consolidating a little bit. So that's weekly, right? Daily, I like the levels. The squeezes I like. We may get some major upside movement with these squeezes, Karthik. We may have some massive end-of-year rallies, unless it does. But if you can see it like in the 4-hour chart, like we've been in this consolidation zone for a while, which, by the way, when Bitcoin does this, it's all the altcoins do catch up, and you can actually make a lot more with the altcoins if you're in the right projects. Let me do Ethereum very quickly. As you guys know, Ethereum, I'm very bullish about Ethereum, but it already overextended in front of Bitcoin, and we are at the top edge of this trend line and the bigger triangle. So I must have drawn this last week. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum pulls back and kind of consolidates here within the triangle before we break out. So, and this squeeze kind of indicates that. So even though Bitcoin might stay stable, we may get Ethereum pull back first before Bitcoin, because of, look at these red dots and the getting, waves getting smaller. The good thing is we have the green money flow, so that may stop the move. It was like this, with the green coming down, then you get a move like this, so you get a little bit harder. We'll see. I think we're going to get the smaller scale of this here, perhaps kind of go test the 2900s, and then I think this will turn around and break out to the upside. So it looks really bullish.
That's good. EO, one of our folks that wanted to look at this XEC, eCash, E.Cash or something. AP wanted to look at it. Can you give your thoughts on that as well?
Is it XEC?
Yeah, XEC. I don't know. It's E.Cash. He said. I don't know what. I don't really know what that is.
Is this it? Do I have the right ticker? I don't know what eCash, because eCash seems
Okay.
Coin market cap. Let me see. You guys are not seeing it, so you're on my chart that I'm looking up on. Market cap. Yeah, it is XCC. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wow, it's like really micro cap. I mean, this thing can move either direction so easily. Like any money can move this thing. It's such a micro cap. Well, on the 4 hour, it's on a pullback. So this thing can come all the way down to 0, maybe 12, 13. I'd be careful with this, but it looks like it follows the squeezes. So if you get squeezes again, you may want to put some money in. Looks like it after the squeezes, it gets like some good jumps.
Okay.
But I don't have any fundamental views on it. So I'd be careful with these types of micro caps because you could get dumped on by somebody else who, they with news, etc., manipulate the thing, and then you end up holding the bag. All right, so I want to share with you guys. I started kind of researching more NFTs, non-fungible tokens. I set up so I actually participated in a few IEOs or IDOs, it's digital offerings, or at least attempted. Today's was a big failure because Ethereum network just failed big time. Just because so many people were trying to get into this one project I was trying to get into. And so this is my current NFT collection, guys. And, I started so these will reveal pictures once the smart contract opens up. These three I'm curious about. I entered this thing, this one here, this Mutant Ape Yacht Club IDO. So I got this from the IDO. Right now I have an offer from someone for 21K. And look at these offers. You see like how many offers this thing got? So yeah. The only thing is I'm just looking at the projects and where there's like so much hype. So I am buying some, again, with a small percentage of my portfolio where I am willing to lose the whole thing. Like it's just more, it's a high risk, high reward bets. So like this is the only thing I have where tons of offers. So I'm gonna probably keep this until, because I was looking at like what the floor is on these, like floor price. A lot of people are trading these things and paying a lot of money. So, and I minted that thing on an IDO. So this is a teaser for you guys. I'll do a dedicated NFT session because it's kind of hard to understand what it does. Now, it's not just this picture, right? The contract, so you own this digital rights to this smart contract and this picture, but you're also basically buying the right to be part of a community that comes with privileges. So most of these projects, especially projects I'm interested in, has either games or some sort of financial economy that generates in its own ecosystem, where the people who participate, spend money and interest in doing that. So there are so many NFT projects that have no purpose; they will fail big time. So you have to be careful. Like the stuff I'm getting into are their games, digital environments where people are buying and selling and trading, or they're playing to earn digital assets. So, like if you look at OpenSea, this is a marketplace where you sell digital assets. So if you look at the marketplace and what are some of the things that are selling a lot? Oh wow, this floor price for this just went up. We're just looking at 639 here. It's 715 now.
So how did you kind of select this, and what cost did you get into?
So here's what I did. So what I was looking at, I look at the marketplace, the stats on OpenSea. OpenSea is like one of the marketplaces that has probably the most transactions happen on NFTs. So you can have any asset, physical asset, can be represented digitally on the digital world on a blockchain, and you can have right to ownership. And I think it works very well with arts, especially digital arts. But anyhow, so I started following some influencers and start getting into projects ahead of time. So, for example, I tried to get into the IDO today on, I was hoping to see it here. It was, this Al Cabones. Okay. So they all look like the same right here because they haven't released this contract. So once they reveal 24 hours from the IDO, these will all have shapes and different characters with different rarity scores. And some of them will have prices that are like right now, even before the smart card announced, it's going for 0.58 Ethereum. In the IDO, you could have gotten this pre-sale at 0.06. So it's already 10x from the pre-sale. So you have to find those pre-sales with good projects that have lots of followers. This is one of them. I missed this because today, lots of people try to get into this, and they like the Ethereum gas prices just skyrocketed. So even though I could have bought it for 0.06 for the NFT itself, but the gas prices were like 1, 2, 3 ETH. Who would pay that much gas prices? Like why would I pay more than? So like I decided to just buy one of these just to keep it in my collection. So I bought one of them like at these prices. Unfortunately, I would have loved to own it at 0.06 and sell it at 3, 4 ETH. But anyhow, so I have this. We'll see what happens. I think you want to buy, if you're going to buy after the IDO, you don't want to pay more than the floor price. That's how you can kind of make sure you can sell it back if you needed to. So again, like only 10,000 of these built. They're all like significant artwork, but also part of a metaverse. So I'll give like a more detailed explanation on this. But anyhow, so I'm collecting and I'm experimenting. I'm gonna most likely lose some money, guys, but this is how my learning happens. If I don't put my money in, I don't learn. So I put my money in. I'm managing a small portfolio. Like these other things I bought, they don't get any offers. This Elon Musk Doge thing is getting offers, but they're getting offers less than what I paid for, a little under, but I'm bullish on this in the long run. This thing is out of control. It's already, triple X. So I have like 21K offer on this. And the reason I'm on this, like the same person who built this, right? They also built this. I'm going to show you guys. Like the reason I got into this, their original project board, not this one. And I'll share this, and then we'll close it because I don't want to take a lot of your time. Like this number 3 project. So this original one I missed. Look at where the floor price is. This thing started at 0.06. Right now, every one of these are above 24 ETH.
Wow.
Look at this one. It has a bid of 36 ETH. So this guy, he has a sale. This says some unique attributes, most likely. Yeah, 2% have this. So like this thing is gonna most likely, look at this. This is gonna sell for 115K. So I saw this, right? This successful project that has a lot of listings that are selling with transactions. So, and then I heard that they were doing the other one. So I bought one. And I missed, again, the IDO, but I bought it in the marketplace at floor, and then the floor kept going up and up, right? So this is very interesting. I'll explain at some point how the mechanics behind this is, but you cannot see these types of returns anywhere else right now. This is the place to be. Look at this, 720. I mean, 368% returns. How's this? I mean, so this is what I mean. Like this whole NFT thing is going to change everything, just because how much volume, traffic, trading that happens, and I think a lot of the projects will fail ultimately, but there's a lot of money to be made. So we have to learn how to be in the loop with these. And I'll explain in a more detailed way how I find these. But I kind of learned my way around now. I'm pretty knowledgeable about the life cycle of figuring things out. You know, I might get into 5 projects, but only I need like one of them to pay. Like if one of them pays really well, like these, it's like right now with that one card, you know, I've already got my investment. But again, I'm not looking at for easy money. It's more like I'm kind of building up a collection that's going to be a very small size of my portfolio.
Good idea. It's a good idea to help us have another detailed session on how you're doing all this stuff. That would be helpful, actually.
Yep. What else, Karthik? Maybe I'll give it back to you now for final comments.
No, I mean, that's kind of a good overview of this NFT. Thank you for doing that. I think just to end this, just stick to your game plan, guys. Watch these market events that's going to happen for the upcoming week. There's a big price movement that happened on Friday. There can be potential rotational day coming up on Monday, but just watch for these events and stick to your plan, and let's just make some money next week. That's kind of my game plan for the upcoming week.
Yeah, let's make some money together this week, and let's you know, don't rush into things. Let the trade come to you guys. And Karthik, always appreciates your weekly views. I always learn something from you, so thank you so much.
All right, thank you everybody for joining today, and hope this was helpful for everybody. Take care and have a good night.
Have a great week, guys. Thank you.